Walking down the street and my thoughts go right back to her. Take a step back, then I take a look around to forget her. But I can't resist my mind going back to the memories. Cause when I look down I see, I try to go back to the places where I never saw the girl. But when I turn to see familiar pieces, it just comes like a predator. It circles in my mind all the things that we did together. So when I look down I see the artifacts, all the bracelets and necklace too. Got it going in my mind, all the things we've been through. Come on, all the love and the care put in, all the pieces put in place. Girl, I'll never forget it all. All the love that I sent to my name. Got a feeling in my heart it'll never be the same again. I got all the artifacts, I know it's similar for her, cause I gave her a lot of mine. Gave her a necklace and a jacket and some bracelets. It took some time. And I know I gave her a stuffed animal that she held tight. And I gave her some shirts of mine. I know my love for her never ceased to multiply. So all the artifacts I have are just memories that make me smile. But my girl on the other hand might have lost her love, and now she's crying. Cause she is artifacts of mine. The artifacts, all the shirts, got them stuffed in a closet. Heading to the thrift store, making a deposit. Yeah, the stuffed animal named after me, made a prize for fun run, give to charity. Okay, the little necklace that I gave her, now it's going around town, worn by her sister. Okay, those are artifacts. Got it going in my mind, all the things we've been through. Come on, all the love and the care put in, all the pieces put in place. Girl, I'll never forget it all. All the love that I've sent to my name. Got a feeling in my heart it'll never be the same again. I got all the artifacts.
Welcome to the MSAHA Basketball Weekly Show. It is championship week. I'm your host, Trellis Williams. We got a lot for you here today. As you can see, I'm in a different setup. I'm in the same place, but I have a different setup here. Today we got two big interviews here with two seniors in the league heading into their final tournament in their MSAHA careers. That is Brody Coker of the Meridian Flyers and also Son Michael Williams of the Muddy River Counselors. Those should be very good. We're also going to preview matchups here in 18U girls and boys for the league. This tournament gets started tomorrow. Starting tomorrow on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Listen, this is the MSAHA Basketball Weekly Show. Begins right now. And we appreciate you joining us right here for the MSAHA Basketball Weekly Show. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button to the TSJW Network YouTube channel. And listen, it's important that you hit the subscribe button because we got a lot to share with you. We got a show here tonight, but then we're also going to give you coverage of games tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. That is my dryer. But listen, tomorrow we will be bringing you first-round matchups for 18U boys. We're actually going to stream all of them, Lord willing, right here on the TSJW Network YouTube channel. We'll be also talking about girls here today. But first, I want to talk to you a little bit about the 16U tournaments we had from this past weekend. Down in Laurel, Mississippi, we saw girls and boys compete in 16U. First of all, on the girls' side, the winner was the number 1 seed, the Laurel Lady Nighthawks, headed up by Coach Cliff Jenkins. You know, most of their 18U team is 16U, so not a huge surprise that they were able to take home this championship, but congratulations to them. They rule the league in the 16U division. They rule the league in all the divisions at the moment, and we'll see what happens this upcoming weekend as far as girls are concerned, but they were able to win all 3 games and take home the 16U championship once again for the Laurel Lady Nighthawks. And then on the boys' side, we saw PCA get the win. They won the 16U championship for the first time in 3 years since 2023. They're able to get the win. They beat the victors in the championship ball game by 7. They're able to outlast the Jackson Victors. Those were the 2 top teams in 16U this year, and we saw PCA get the win. PCA has a legitimate shot at sweeping all the boys' divisions. They're going to be looking to do that. Of course, there are a lot of teams out there that are not looking to see that happen. But PCA has that opportunity this season. Today, we will be having 2 guests here today. Do want to kind of talk a little bit about what we expect to see here in this tournament. So Thursday, we'll see a lot of first-round matchups. Do want to remind you how these tournaments are set up. On the girls' side, we got 5 teams. And we'll talk about the matchups after the interview with Brody Coker, but how that tournament's set up is it will be broken up into winner's pool and loser's pool. There'll be matchups to begin with. The Laurel Lady Nighthawks will get a bye. More on that later on. And then we'll see the 2 take on the 5, the 3 take on the 4, and that's how the gold and silver pool will break up. On the boys' side, there are an even 8 teams, the most teams ever in the history of this tournament. And we'll be seeing that here this upcoming weekend. Very excited to see that. And so we'll see a first round, we'll see semifinals, and then a championship round this year. But first, before we get into all of that, I want to bring on my first guest here today, and that is Brody Coker of the Meridian Flyers. And Brody, thank you for joining us on the MSAHA Basketball Weekly Show.
Yeah, Trellis, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, Brody, look, man, this is your senior year. You're coming up to your last weekend as a Meridian Flyer. And listen, man, you've been on the team for a good few years now, and now this is the moment of truth here. Look, you're the number 4 seed this year. Your team has done well over the course of the year. You guys have played well as of recent. I think you guys are on a 5-game winning streak. Kind of talk about how you guys are feeling heading into the tournament right now.
Yeah, I mean, as everybody in the league knows, I mean, this is probably the most competitive tournament that the league has seen in a long time, if not the most competitive ever. But like you said, we're on a 5-0 run right now going into the tournament. So I mean, us as a team, we're feeling really good about it. I mean, we got Blake and Ross down low helping with blocks. We got Jerry who can drive to the basket and score really well down there. You got Cooper who can knock down just about every 3-pointer he shoots, it feel like. And Hayes really aggressive on defense and hustles like crazy. So, I mean, we feel like we have all the pieces to win it all. But, it's definitely going to be a challenge to get there, seeing the teams that we'd have to face to get there. So, just overall, I feel like we have a pretty good shot at it. We're going into it pretty confident.
Yeah, let's take a step back here, Brody. I kind of want you to tell your story of how you became homeschooled, because I know you weren't always homeschooled, and then coming into the league, you played for Coach Mike Raspberry, and then you're able to transition into playing for your dad, who's the head coach now of your team. Talk about the process of becoming a Meridian Flyer and your love for basketball, how you got into basketball as well. Tell us the full story.
So, as far back as I can remember, when my dad would go play pickup ball down at our church, I would just go shoot around with them, play on the other end of the court, and that's really where I developed a love for the game. And a few years later, around the age 11 or 12, I played in a local city league, and that really got me into playing competitive team basketball. And the next couple of years, I played on the middle school team at Newton County Public School, and when we decided to homeschool, I heard about the Flyers through some friends I had, and the more we looked into it, I realized that this is something I want to be a part of. I wanted to be a part of what they had going on there.
Yep.
And so I mean, we joined in July of 22, and it's been here ever since, and it's been one of the best things that ever happened to me, and I'm really glad the Lord led us to do this.
Right. No, that's great. Kind of talk about your dad coaching, because the thing about that is that a lot of us are blessed to have a very good relationship with our dads, but it's also something different when you're playing for your dad as the coach, because sometimes that can become a challenge in your relationship even. It seems like you guys have a pretty good thing going on, though, as far as coaching player and father and son goes. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so whenever Coach Raspberry was still the coach my freshman year, I know I wasn't expecting my dad to become head coach, but then sophomore year, there I am, he's the head coach then. So,
right.
I mean, we talk about it at home, kind of just tell me what to expect from him being the head coach. And so just from sophomore year to now, I know we butt heads a lot on the court just because we're so like-minded sometimes, but it really has been a blessing having him as my head coach. All the ride homes and stuff. If I have a bad game or stuff, I have him right there to tell me, like, hey, look, this is what you need to work on. You're fine. Everybody has bad nights. And it's just a real benefit having him as head coach, because I mean that's not an opportunity a lot of kids get to having their dad as head coach, and I'm definitely one to be blessed having that.
Right, definitely. So again, talking about the team this year, and also just talking about some of these guys you're playing with. I know that you built a pretty good relationship with your teammates. It seems like you guys really, truly like each other and like playing together. Kind of talk about that bond. Talking about one player that you play with, Cooper Franklin. You're talking about a guy you've played with for years now. Talk about the bond you've built with some of these teammates, but particularly Cooper.
Yeah, so starting with the bond with Cooper, it's I mean, whenever that first practice, whenever I walked into the Flyers gym, it just he was kind of the first guy to really take me under his wing. I didn't really know anybody there. I was the awkward new kid at practices. Everybody was wondering what's he doing here? Who is he? So, he was the first guy to really take me under his wing. He really introduced me to a lot of the guys at all the practices, and just as time went on, me and him just started realizing, like, hey, we're a lot more alike than what we originally thought we would be, and so that's how my bond came about with him. It's just we just ended up realizing we're a lot alike. So, and then just with the rest of the team, as the years went on, Jerry came to the team sophomore year, Blake and Hayes came to the team my junior year, and we just kind of all developed, collectively as a friend group. And I think it's every week now that we hang out at least once or twice, and on the court we all have really good chemistry with how good we are. So it's it's really good having a good bond with all the players on our team, but specifically those guys, since they're the ones I play with the most on the court, it's really good having that chemistry, because I know, like, okay, well, if I'm finna pass it here, maybe I could fake it because I know Cooper's finna cut to the basket and I can get an easy look there.
Right.
So it's good knowing exactly where they're finna be on the court and at certain times.
Definitely, and you guys have built a pretty good chemistry as well. Kind of talk about the league a little bit. So you're here on the MSAHA Basketball Weekly Show, your first time on the show, and I'm glad to have you. And been good getting to know you as well over the years, Brody. And so kind of talk about what the league has meant, because you're talking about getting a lot of homeschool teams together, not just your own, playing amongst a league where it gets real competitive. And this year you guys have a legitimate shot at beating anybody in the league. kind of talk about the goals that being in this league has created for you guys.
Yeah, I know. Like I said earlier, I know this year's goal is to, for sure try to win the championship. But it's really going to be a tough challenge because you have teams like PCA, Muddy River, Hattiesburg. Every team in our league this year, I feel like has a shot at the championship. Because I know Jackson, they're the 6th seed, but they can compete with the number 1 seed. So one all the way down to the bottom. It's just they're all right there neck and neck with each other. So it's like, yeah, they're seeded, but if you were to put them in one tournament together, I feel like every game is going to be within 10, 15 points. Like I don't really see a blowout happening really this tournament at all. So, I really feel like that.
Right, so now you guys will take on the Jackson Victors first game. Now this will be very interesting, man, because y'all have played them 3 times, and you guys have won twice. They've won once, but all the games have been within 10 points. So this is like a seriously anybody's game situation. What's on the line is a game against either PCA or Tupelo. PCA is the number 1 seed and the runaway favorites. So you're talking about a good opportunity there if you guys are able to get this first round win. But it's going to be a tough one there, taking on the 5 seed, just like you expect from a 4 and 5 matchup. Kind of preview that game for us.
Yes, we played the Victors 3 times already this season. They were our very first game of the season. Then they came to us, and then we played them in the Monroe tournament. And like you said, every game's been within 10 points. Luckily, we've been able to squeeze by them the last 2 times, but I know that first time they beat us by 2 points, and that was a real heartbreaking loss. But the Victors are always a competitive team to us. Every year that we've played them so far that I've been a part of the Flyers, it's always been right there with each other. They have Asa Holden, insane shooter. I think he scores the majority of their points for their team. So, really just being able to contain him on the outside, and then you have Cornelius and some of the other guys on some of the other starters on their team. They have a lot of depth too. So it's like if any of their starting 5 gets tired, they can bring in a new person right there, and he's ready to roll. He knows what to do. So yeah.
No, they have very good depth, absolutely. So Brody, just give me my last question for you is, what is your parting message to everybody who's watching here? MSAHA people, fellow homeschool people here in Mississippi, as you are about to wrap up your high school career, wrap up your career in this league. What has it meant to you to be a part of the Meridian Flyers and a part of the MSAHA as a whole?
Man, it's meant the world to me. I know whenever I was in public school, it was at first I was scared of homeschooling. I really was, because I didn't think homeschooling, when you think of homeschooling, you think no social interaction. You do all your work at home, and you never get to see anybody. But now, if I could go back, I would homeschool every year that I was ever able to do school. I've created more than friendships. If you're asking me, the bond that I have with Cooper and Jeremiah and some of those guys, I would call those more closer to brotherhoods than I would actual just normal friendships. And these guys have really, been there for me. Anything I've ever went to them with, they've always been there. And, just being a part of the MSAHA has been great. Being able to play all these teams, it's always competitive. Just advice to anybody watching, man, don't take high school for granted. Because I remember freshman year thinking, man, I'm ready to get out here. But now looking at it, that I'm here talking about it, I would give anything to go back to that first practice of being with the Flyers.
Yeah, no, 100%. I understand that. But we look forward to seeing how you prosper in your life, man. And we appreciate you joining us. And we're looking forward to you seeing you play tomorrow. And we'll bring it to you right here. We'll be bringing it to the fans right here on the TSJW Network. So we're looking forward to that as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, Trellis.
Absolutely. So that's Brody Coker of the Meridian Flyers. Looking forward to seeing him hit the floor tomorrow. They'll take on the Jackson Victors. The Meridian Flyers will. We'll preview that game in just a little bit, but I want to remind you to hit that subscribe button once again. Hit that subscribe button. Obviously, you can only hit it once if you have an account. But I will say, if you have like 5 or 6 accounts, you can subscribe on all of them. Okay, so just remember that is a way. Anyway, that's a way around it. All right, so look, we've got some games this upcoming week. We're going to start off talking a little 18U girls here. Start off with giving credit where credit's due. The Laurel Lady Nighthawks are the number 1 seed. They're the number 1 seed, so they will get a bye, and they'll start playing on Friday. But we will see the other 4 teams compete on the first day. And starting off, we will see the Macomb Lady Gators, and the Muddy River Counselors. That is a number 5 versus number 2 seed there. That game will start at 2:30 p.m. Okay, that's a 2:30 start time between those 2 teams. As the Macomb Gators, Muddy River Counselors, they played twice. The Counselors won both times. The Counselors were 8-2 in conference, with their only 2 conference losses being against Laurel. So Muddy River definitely has the edge in this one. However, this is basically like a home game for Macomb because the tournament will be played in Summit. So that will be 18U girls, a first round matchup. Remember, the winner will go to the gold pool, the loser will go to the silver pool. And then our other game, that will be at 1, that first game's at 2:30 p.m. This one will actually be before that one. This will be at 1 p.m. We'll have the number 4 seed Meridian Flyers taking on the number 3 seed Hattiesburg Forerunners, as you see on the screen there. That will be a 1 p.m. start time tomorrow. That is a first round matchup. Again, the same situation. Winner goes to the gold, loser goes to the silver. Now, Meridian and Hattiesburg played twice. Hattiesburg won both of those. Hattiesburg finished 6-4 in conference, while Meridian finished 3-7. Hattiesburg lost 4. Both of their all 4 of their losses were to either Muddy River or Laurel. So Hattiesburg firmly in that 3 spot. They'll take on Meridian in the first round. So listen, that's the girls' matchups there. Hattiesburg has a very big edge over Meridian. We saw their 16U girls team, which is pretty much most of their 18U players. But the thing is, they played very well. Matter of fact, they beat Meridian 16U by over 30 points. So if Hattiesburg's able to shoot in that fashion, play at that level, they could be a really dangerous team. They could even compete there with Muddy River or even Laurel. So definitely not a team to sleep on is that Hattiesburg Forerunners girls team, especially with their second place finish in the 16U girls tournament. So that's the 18U. And of course, we're giving you the show right now. We'll give you updates if you keep up with our streams tomorrow. We'll give you updates on what's going on throughout the tournament. But that's what we have so far as we can preview these first round games. Now let's look at the 18U boys tournament, which is the most competitive and interesting tournament going into it in the history of this league. I've been around the league for a long time. That's what I believe to be the case. Look at our first game here. Will be at 10 a.m. Be the Laurel Nighthawks taking on the Hattiesburg Forerunners. Now look, these 2 teams split the games they played this year. Laurel won their last matchup by 1. Hattiesburg, I haven't had this fully confirmed, but from what I've heard, they've had a couple guys get hurt. So I don't know what Hattiesburg's going to look like health-wise in the tournament, but we'll see. Hattiesburg, I think, has the edge over Laurel overall just because of their shooting, their ability to shoot the basketball. You got Keller Russell, Tafari Edwards, both those guys very good shooters. And listen, they're a team that plays well together, well coached by Coach Paul Russell. But we'll see how they do because they're having to deal with a lot of height from Laurel. Laurel is the biggest team in the league. They've gotten some big wins, including beating Hattiesburg 52-51 in double overtime. They beat Meridian. They beat Jackson. This is a good team, Laurel. They've won 6 conference games, and 4 of them are in the back half of the season. So this Nighthawks team can play and they can win, and they're going to be a dangerous team here in the first round. Now, I think I might give Hattiesburg the edge because Hattiesburg got a win by over 30 points, whereas they lost by 1 on the road, and it's always tough to play on the road, especially in this league, as we've seen. I think Hattiesburg has the edge, but it'll be a very interesting matchup. We'll be bringing that to you, Lord willing, right here on the TSJW Network tomorrow morning. And then our next first round ball game, we'll see the number 5 seed take on the number 4 seed, and that is the Jackson Victors taking on the Meridian Flyers. just like when we were talking to Brody, Brody is a guard for the Meridian Flyers. And so, look, they got the number 4 seed by winning late in the season. They're 8-7 in conference. Jackson finished 7-7 in conference. The two teams, they played each other twice in conference play. The first time, Meridian lost 62-60 to the Victors on the road. Then the second time, Jackson lost to Meridian. Meridian won in Hickory 54-48. So they split them. Meridian had the tiebreaker over Jackson. Then we saw them compete in the district tournament, and Meridian won that one 60-51. So the Flyers have the edge 2-1 over Jackson, and the Flyers have been playing a little bit better as of late, it seems. But the Victors they pack a punch, folks. Because one thing about these two teams is that you could argue that Meridian has a tougher starting lineup. But the thing about the Victors, though, is that they are deep, and they're way deeper than Meridian is. The Victors are as deep as it gets pretty much in this league, and so be very interesting to see. And just like Brody said, they got a great shooter, got another great scorer in Andy Miller, and they also, Daniel Cornelius, a great player as well as a lot of the other guys on the team that I failed to mention. But the Victors are going to be tough. I got to say, this should be an interesting one. And Laura Willen will be bringing that for you as well tomorrow. That will start at 11:30 a.m. Our third game will come at 4 p.m. after we have our two girls' games, and it will be the Macomb Gators taking on the Muddy River Counselors. This is a number 7 versus number 2 seed. The Counselors grabbed the number 2 seed in the conference with a 10-4 conference record. Macomb with the 7 seed. Now, Macomb got 2 big wins over Laurel. So this is a team, and they've competed. They competed hard against the Counselors twice. Counselors won by double digits both times. So for the Counselors, they've matched up pretty well with Macomb the 2 times in the season. But a lot of times it's hard to beat teams 3 times in a row like that. So we'll see how the Counselors do with that. The Counselors, the amount of games they've played have been kind of sparse. Their last game they played against Meridian, they lost by 2 at home. Meridian's been playing pretty well, so we'll see how the Counselors do in this matchup with the Gators. The Gators are a team that they don't have a whole lot of depth, but they've got some good talent and they got abilities to score the basketball. And another thing about the Gators is that, again, this is their home court. So it's like the Counselors playing on the road. As a matter of fact, this is the matchup we see first round for girls and for boys. And so, as a matter of fact, they're going to be back-to-back on the court there. So that is Macomb and Muddy River. And then finally, in the first round, we will see Tupelo take on PCA. So, hey, what's cool is we're going to see Tupelo back in the tournament. We've not seen them in the tournament since 2022. They have the 8th seed, and they will be welcomed back by taking on the PCA Paladins, the number 1 seed. Now, PCA, of course, great team. They're the favorites in this tournament. They're the number 1 seed with only 1 conference loss. That was to the Counselors early in the season. They've looked good. They finished 3rd in district in Monroe. So we have the Paladins taking on the Titans. That will start at 5:30 p.m., and that'll be our last first-round game tomorrow. Should be interesting to see. These teams have not played each other this year. So, that could be – I don't know who that's good for or who that isn't. Obviously, PCA is the favorite here, the overwhelming favorite in this ball game. But maybe for the Titans, it might help them that the Paladins have not played them. I don't know. We'll have to see how that pans out. That'll be Tupelo and PCA first-round matchup at 5:30 tomorrow. I want to remind you about our sponsor, the official marketing agency of the TSJW Network, which is Take One Media. Take One Media listen, if you are an entrepreneur or a business owner trying to scale your business, you need to get your marketing right, and Take One Media will get you right. Go to takeonemedia.com/TSJW, takeonemedia.com/TSJW to get that right, get your marketing right for your business. Now, folks, look, I'm being joined now by Michael Williams. He is right here with me. He's actually right here beside me. With us right now, it is son Michael Williams joining us right here on the MSAHA Basketball Weekly Show. So, Michael, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me here, Charles.
Absolutely. So, look, first question for you, man. So, look, talk about it right now. the number 2 seed in the league. You guys had been number 1 the last couple of years, but you guys were able to grab number 2 this year. And now you go in, you're going to take on Macomb first. But this is a tournament that's a little different than the last 2 years where you were trying to defend the seed that you got. Now you're trying to go up and get the championship again for the 3rd straight year. But now you're coming from a slightly more of an underdog perspective here. Talk about the mentality heading into this tournament.
Well, it's interesting because, I see it as like the last 2 seasons, which we won the championship, it's been ours to lose because we've been up there, whereas this year's ours to win as well as the other 7 teams.
Right.
So we're just going to go in there with the mentality of every game. We got Little Willing, we have 3 games. So we're going to work hard, have a good mentality to play our first game. Because we can't, because everybody's talking about, hey, how do they beat PCA? Well, I'm like, we got to beat Macomb and then go from there. And that's going to be tough because we had to battle with them both times. And it was a good games. And so, for me and, the team, and, we just got to mesh and do well. I mean, we got to hit shots and do well. I don't know.
Right. So, look, man. So let's take a step back. Let's talk about the beginning here. Okay. So now the beginning. We go far back.
Go far back.
We go way
when
back.
I was born.
Right. So I remember when you were born. Okay. So no, but let's talk about like the beginning of your time in this league. Okay. You played for the Victors when you were 10 years old. This is your 9th season in homeschool basketball, okay? And so you played for the Victors to get started. Kind of tell us the story. Tell the viewers the story that might not be familiar with the whole background of how you got to this point here.
Well, when I was 10, I was playing church league basketball, and then my dad, he was coaching the JV team for Victors, and he put me on the team. And I thought, hey, look, I'm ready. Like, I'm 10. Like, come on. And so, got on the team, and, we had 14U games, and I sat on the bench for 16U. I came in a little bit. But we got to the championship game in the MSAHA tournament for 14U, and we lost to PCA by 2. And I started crying at the end because I was 10. So it was just like, that was kind of the start of it, Then,
right.
We go 11. I was playing more 16U, and then still playing 14U. We did really well in the 14U when I was 11, but we didn't have a championship in that year. And then when I was 12, I was like, man, I'm 12 now. Like, 16U, that's look, I'm 12 now. So,
Standard, yeah.
Thinking back on it, I'm like, man, I was 12. But, so I played a lot for 16U and then played 14U. And we won the championship for 14U, and then we got like 500 for 16U.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And so we kind of won and lost and stuff. So, that was really fun for me. And it was a good experience for me because I got to play with guys taller than me and older than me. I was the youngest on the team for 10, 11, and 12.
Yeah, right.
With a big team. And then, COVID hit. And, for me, when you're a little kid, you don't really have just a bunch of emotional ties to different stuff. So when my dad, my parents prayed about it to start the counselors, I was like, oh, hey, I'm a jersey guy. So I was like ready to have a different jersey, number 45, how the NBA players,
right.
They go to different teams. I'm really interested in them wearing their number with the different teams. That's what I was excited about.
Right.
And so, start that, and it was a fun first year. King with the seizures and stuff. That was kind of it kind of made it more, I don't know, stressful. It's just kind of stressful. but we ended up winning the 16U tournament
The first year.
the first year, and that was very, very great.
Yeah.
I was very excited about that. We were very excited about it. I'm going through year after year, but
Right.
let's see.
And I can ask you some questions now
Yeah.
to help you out here. So you're talking about at this point in time, the first year with the counselors, that change. This is during the COVID time, and also another thing too is that you have a lot of people that used to play in the league. You're talking about these other teams. A lot of guys graduating and moving on, so you got new guys coming in the league. And so if you talk about today, pretty much everybody in the league, none of them remembers before the counselors were around.
No, they don't. Yeah.
So that's an interesting thing as well. Kind of talk about this too. So you end up playing, and on the original team, obviously King played with you. A lot of people in the league think of him as the photographer, but he was playing, and y'all played together for 5 years.
We needed 20 points at least from him to win.
Right, right. So, look, he'd go all out for it too, but you're able to play with Caleb and Luke, the Sanders, at that time. Played with them for 5 years, and you guys really, with the rest of the guys, built something with the counselors that was really tough to deal with. Making the championship game, y'all, your freshman year. So 3 years ago, you guys made the championship game, lost to PCA, and then the last 2 years winning the championship. Kind of talk about that experience of year after year getting better and raising the standard to the point where last year you start off 22-0 and make the district championship game.
I mean, well, it goes back to what I was saying because, you know, we go and we start off with the counselors, and Caleb and Luke, first practice, he said, I want to play soccer and baseball. And my mom was like, you should play. And he was like, okay, I'll play. And then I'm like, anyway.
Right.
So I'm glad he played for sure.
Yeah.
So, but like, you know, when we started, it was like, hey, we're kind of little kids and we're playing with the older guys, and it was good, you know, we're playing. But then as time goes on, the chemistry just gets out of hand.
Right.
To where we're doing stuff that, like now, for instance, I have to get out of habits of throwing at certain places that I knew that Caleb and Luke were going to be able to get to because I played with them for so long.
Yeah.
You know, it's different personnel. You got to throw at different places and, you
Right.
know, different strengths and weaknesses and stuff. But, you know, we were moving on up because we had Rydell and William and, you know, Matthew. You know, we had a lot of, you know,
Right.
deeper team. And, you know, in 8th grade, we were, what were we?
We were the 5 seed in the tournament, yeah.
Yeah, and so we were kind of.
And that was King's senior year. That's when it was really.
Yeah, that's when we
with the
were
seasons
kind
and
of.
everything.
Yeah, so we didn't have our.
And we had Chris Purnell, who's a big part of the beginning of the
So
counselors. Yeah.
one of our best players was out for the tournament, and then the other one, he's literally carrying us.
Yeah, right.
As little children. And so, but then once we got like 9th grade and stuff, our chemistry had gotten better, and we started being the fast running team.
Yeah.
And so, look, we were ready, and we took our huge losses which helped us. And
early on.
It helped us going down. Oh my goodness, that one game that I'm not gonna forget. Playing Hartfield, we were down 40-2
Right.
at halftime. I was about to quit basketball. But you know, look. Wait, was that was 10th grade? We won the championship that year.
Yeah,
So,
we had a little bad stretch there. Yeah.
So we took our losses, and so we, but like it made us better, obviously.
Yeah.
And so, you know, look, and then we also, and a big thing is that each of us, and then with me, Caleb and Luke, because Rydell was a big part of it, and he graduated out at our 10th grade. But last year too, we made it a point like we're not gonna, because we started off 22-0.
Yeah.
Look, we're not. This is about our team. It's not about each individual and what we're doing. Because you know, one of us, like Caleb, could have gone and been like, no, I'm taking this. I'm scoring 40 every game. Or Luke could have gone, I'm scoring 40 every game. Or I could have done that.
Yeah.
But we're like, man, we're trying to win. So, like, one of us score a bunch of points and we lose.
Yeah.
Or we could all play together with the other guys playing and win all the time. That's what we chose to do.
Right.
And so that's what helped us win all those games. So it's really fun.
Yeah, definitely. And you guys were able to do some real good things last year. Finished 29th in the nation last year. Now, look, you go into a new year, and obviously Caleb and Luke and Noah, they're all, at Pisgah now. And then now you have a situation where, and it's not just them. You lose a lot of other guys too. You have some guys graduate out. You have some guys just not play basketball randomly. You know what I mean? You have that too. But you come into the season, you got some good guys. You got some good players on your team. But you got guys that are real young, that are their first time playing major 18U minutes. Then you got guys Isaac and Mark Johnson, who were guys that were rotation players last year that you're playing with as well. So you still have good players on your team, but then you have some guys that were 12U guys last year that are getting big minutes now, like Ike and Taylor. So kind of talk about that a little bit, man. So it's a new team, new year. You're the only senior on the team when it looked like at one point this would be like a 7 or 8 senior group, and then now it's a 1 senior group being yourself here. You had a real good year, averaging 30 points and 14 rebounds and all the like. Kind of talk about this year and how this year's been for you. But, look, number 2 seed in such a competitive league like this, still very impressive. Talk about this year.
It's very good. And, this year, look, Mark Johnson and Isaac, they've been there. So they're coming to this year. They've
Right.
played at the level that we've been playing at.
Yeah.
So that it was not anything new for them. Now they hadn't had as much experience as like me and Caleb and Luke and stuff.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like they were there last year and the year before.
Right. And they are younger.
And they are younger.
Yeah.
They're but Hilton and Mark Dillon, I'll sometimes get frustrated. They do really good stuff, and then stuff that I'm like, hey, we need to get that better. But then I'm like, remember, well, they just turned 16, and then Ike, I'll be like, Ike, you need to get these rebounds over these guys, and I'm like, oh wait, he just turned, what did he just turn, 14?
Yeah.
And I'm like, man,
Yeah.
and he's like 3 inches taller than me.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, I got to remember that these guys are younger. And then we got younger guys, and I love these guys.
Yeah.
And so these are, a lot of people look at it as, hey, I'm a basketball player playing with my teammates and stuff. I'm a guy playing with my friends out there. So it's I praise the Lord for it because I love those guys. Win or lose, I take these guys.
Yeah.
And so it's great.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, and man, you got pieces for look, a big team. The counselor's never been known for size. This year, you got a good big team here as well. Now, also look, you've also had some personal things that have been awesome. So you're able to sign a scholarship to go play at Hines, and able to get a little bit of recognition and things like that. Kind of talk about that a little bit, and you don't have to go too far into it, but I know that's an exciting thing.
It's very exciting. I don't know how much more excited I could be.
Yeah.
And so, I'm really excited about playing on the next level. I praise the Lord for it because for me, I just look at it as stewardship. And so when you're stressed out, like, basketball is a game, right? And it can get to high levels.
Yeah, it is.
But if you look at it as stewardship, I'm getting in the gym working, then the game's the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you don't do very well in the game, well, you put in the work. So I don't know what else you could do. I mean, you can if you're missing shots after you got hundreds of shots up in the gym, then what else are you supposed to do?
That's right.
And so but I look at stewardship. You got to get in there and get the work. You can't just sit back on the couch and be like, yeah, okay, I'm going to go out and score 50.
Yeah.
It's just and I praise the Lord for it to get the, allow me to be able to do this because,
Right.
You know, and it's great. The question was my personal. What do you? What
Yeah, I
was
was
the
just saying, just how excited are you about the opportunity?
And so I really do thank you as my brother, because I'm not on social media, so I play and I do this stuff, and you're doing a lot of work, and you're fans out there. I got two great brothers, but I got me one and two because King, all the pictures, all the high quality stuff, it comes from him. Good stuff.
Yeah.
And Trellis with the just the promotion, like you're just nonstop promotion, and I really appreciate it because that's really good brotherly support.
Right.
And so and I remember it. It's not just something I'm like, oh yeah, I did that, and everybody sees. We're homeschooled here, you know.
Yeah.
We're not playing in front of packed arenas, but basketball players, you can be as good as you are.
Right.
But if you're playing, if nobody sees it, you know.
Yeah.
And so, with this MSAHA show, with the covering broadcast, people are watching that, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. It's been a whole lot of fun, man, and look, this is going to be emotional for me too, because this will be the last go around at the tournament, watching you play in the tournament. But look, it's been a lot of fun, and it's fun. It's fun promoting what you're doing, but it's also fun to promote what everybody in the league's doing, because you talk about this year. I mean, you're going through game after game this year, and every game it takes, you got to get down to your guts, try to win. Sometimes you don't still win.
It's every game, because
yeah,
it's a different mindset as last year, because last year was okay, we're at this level.
Right.
So if a team's lower level, we're going to beat them. If they're this level, it's going to be harder.
Right.
If they're this, whereas this every game, it's just different matchups.
Right.
It's like the NBA, where it's hey, you don't even know.
Yeah,
Thunder getting smoked by the Suns, and you're like, what in the world?
Yeah.
Even though I like the Suns, but it's the same here. It's you can have. I know, we lost to Meridian, right?
Yeah.
Well, I know how hard they are, and I know how hard PCA is. So PCA handled Meridian, but I know that's not that could be a different situation the next game. So I'm not looking at that as, oh wow, yeah, well they got.
Yeah, you can't look at other teams' scores and do the comparison thing.
No, there's none of that. And I could see if Meridian and PCA play again, I'll be looking at it oh, I wonder what happens here.
Yeah,
because we're playing in a neutral place.
Right, and you're taking on Macomb in the first round. And the thing is, you guys have been able to beat Macomb by 21 and 16 points, but think about take Laurel. Laurel was able to beat 4 different teams that are in the top 6 in the league, but they could not beat Macomb. Macomb beat them twice.
That just goes with it. Because Laurel, man, height.
Yeah.
Height.
And they figured out how to play together as well. And so it's pretty cool, man. And for you, 9 years in the league, able to see the ups and downs of all these different teams, I'm sure that's something else as well.
The case in point with the 9 years, well, I played with Jared Dillon, which is Mark Dillon's older brother. He just got married 2 months ago. I played with him in 14U for 3 years. So I've kind of been in the league for a while.
Oh, yeah.
We took our ups and downs in 14U and 16U, and now he's married. So,
right. So, listen, it's crazy. Been through a lot in the league. But hey, look, appreciate you joining us, man.
Thank you for having me.
And I might even welcome you back here again.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, maybe not. No.
Play some NASCAR video games.
Probably not. Probably not.
All right.
All right, folks, we appreciate you joining us right here for the MSAHA Basketball Weekly Show. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button. Also, hit the like button as well. We got a lot for you tomorrow. Streams for the first round of the 18U boys. Listen, we appreciate all of you joining us on the show. We'll be back next week, Lord willing, with the show to summarize the championships, folks. I can't believe we're in championship week, but it's here, and I'm excited about it, and I'm excited about bringing it to you right here on the TSJW Network YouTube channel. Appreciate Brody Coker for his interview here today. Appreciate Michael Williams as well for his interview. Appreciate Nettie Williams as always on production. And I'm your host, Trellis Williams. I'll see you tomorrow. We out.